Yes! Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for a late Thursday night video. Right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit that subscribe button down there. You know it is, in my pants, otherwise known as the scritch marks below. And leave a comment on the video if you like, from the past, the present, and the future, Conan. But if these stupid comments bother you, you get sent to the Shadow Realm, and you can pretty much kiss my ass. And Ozzy and Satan will eat your soul. And probably your ass too, but I don't know about that, but anyway. But you're gonna leave stupid comments, go to your dead channel, nobody cares about. And pretty much you'll be ignored and sent to the Shadow Realm, and, you know, you'll never be heard from again. So if you don't like it, tough shit. That's that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Most importantly, tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, well, you are pretty much SOL. And you know what that means by now. And I don't think I need to tell you, but you missed the videos? Too bad. Tough shit. And that's that. And for our first-time viewers, if you're here watching at this time of night, and you're here for the first time, you're thinking about subscribing, please do. And if not, well, it equals a view. Hey, that rhymes. But anyway. But if you're new here and you're thinking about subscribing, hit the subscribe button down below. And when you do subscribe, as we always say in the business, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one like I do. Not all the time I have one, but I have one now. But whatever you got, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. And if you like it, great. You know, get out of here and go watch somebody else. Or go to sleep or go do something else. That's that. Don't waste my time and don't waste your time. Because you got better things to do. And I got better things to do. So, it is what it is. That's that. Alright, so once again, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good shit, and we move on with that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, happy Thursday to you. I know I'm a little bit late today. I stayed home today, wasn't feeling well. Had a little bitty cold. Something's going around, I don't know what's going around. Kind of in and out of... I've been... Like, some days I've been feeling okay, some days I've been feeling like, bleh, you know? The way it is with this up and down weather, like my dick in your mom's ass, but, you know, I already got my flu shot, like, weeks ago, I think about a few weeks or a month ago. Got sick from that, so I think it's just the weather changing, I don't know what it is. You know, I'm getting migraines on and off. I don't know if it's what I'm eating. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But I gotta go to the doctor tomorrow, so see what happens with that. For some odd reason, I can't eat garlic anymore, and I had onion rings the other a day or so ago, and I got a very bad headache from that. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? I'm thinking it's the weather. It's not from the food I eat. I mean, I do eat a lot of junk food, but I don't think it's from that. But I just think it's just something. The weather, or I don't know what it is. But I'll get it checked out tomorrow and, you know, see what happens with that. And, nothing too serious. But, yeah, gonna check it out. And that's pretty much it. And I'm going to enjoy my weekend, and the first official weekend of November. Should be some good stuff as we get closer to Veterans Day for our veterans who served in the war and died for our country, or countries, wherever you may be. That. And then 3 weeks from, as of this video, 3 weeks from this video is Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday, Cyber Saturday, Cyber Sunday, Cyber Monday. Nobody gives a fuck about the day after that, but, you know. But the holiday season's coming in about, as of this video, 20 days. So just under 3 weeks. We'll be eating a lot of turkey, getting fat, and watching some football. I know, that's pretty much it. And then Santa Claus will be coming for the parade and everything. The tree, Rockefeller Center, if you're in New York, will be up. I don't know when it gets lit. I think it's like right around Thanksgiving. It might be a little few days after that. So that's always fun. But lots of good things happening in, not so much good things here in New York City with, good old Mom Johnny. And like I said before, he's a Met fan, he's an AEW fan, he gets 2 brownie points with me, but it feels like New York is going to turn into Sharia law, socialist, communist. New York is coming. And I heard 50 Cent somehow escaped New York. I'm like, wait a minute, what? 50? 50 Cent like, I'm out of here. I'm getting out of New York quick. I don't blame him at this point. Probably going to be a whole lot more people leaving this the so-called greatest city in the world pretty soon with a guy that doesn't even know a thing or two about politics. He's a good politician, but he's never worked at like a Quickie Mart or any other thing in his life. So, you expect him to do some good things for New York? I doubt it. It could be worse. It could be all the Democrats in Congress that can't do a fucking thing. Because they can't. Can't do shit. They can't open up the fucking government. They can't do anything. I mean, 38 days of the government shutdown. All because, they can't agree on a freaking CR or whatever they're doing. People are getting hungry. I mean, this is gonna last till Thanksgiving. I mean, this is insane. That people are going to have to go to food pantries to get some Thanksgiving dinner. It's just sad. I mean, thankfully, I don't have that problem. I make my own money the hard way, the hard way, I guess. But, I make my money, so I don't have a problem with that. But other people, I feel bad for them because, it's been... They were supposed to get their benefits this week, this week, and they haven't got it. And then the judge is like, okay, Mr. Trump, I want you to give, fund all the SNAP recipients and all this stuff. And Trump's like, okay, well, partially give them their thing. So if you're making, you have a couple of family members, you're getting half of that amount you make. So if you say you make $298, you're getting $149 for the month, which is sad. But did he do that? It was supposed to happen yesterday. Did he do that? No. Now the judge from I think Rhode Island is telling Trump's legal teams like, hey, you gotta fund the program fully and give these people their fucking benefits already. And while that's going, that might I doubt it's going to happen tomorrow. I doubt it, but, I doubt that's going to happen. I doubt the fucking government's going to open by freaking Christmas at this point. And it's all due to that schmuck Charles Schumer. Chucky. Him and Hakeem Jeffries need to really fucking get out of fucking Congress. And they're not up for re-election, I think, till next year. So we got another 11 months plus of those idiots still in Congress. Vote them out. It's sad. Just sad that this country has turned to shit. Pretty much right before Trump left. Because everything up to 2019 and before 2020, before the pandemic hit, and Trump was out of office with the insurrection and shit, and then Biden comes in, Sleepy Joe and his whore, Kamala Harris, fucked everything up. Every government thing has just turned to shit. And now Trump comes in and is like, oh, we're gonna make America great again. And he's got to deal with this bullshit, just about a year into his fucking presidency. And now they're thinking of, they're saying, oh, the Democrats win the midterms, Trump's gonna be gone in 2027. Because he's only gonna get it 2 years, because they're gonna move to impeach the guy. Oh, did that work the first time? Or the second, third, fourth, fifth time? How many times he tried to get impeached and he's still there? He ain't going anywhere. Trump is not going to get impeached again, or for again in the second term. He's not going anywhere. Okay, who really should go is all these dumb fuck Democrats like Schumer and Jeffries. Anybody else who agrees with those two fuckers. It seems like the Democrats are like getting really pissed off with those two fuckers. Because every time they try to vote, 14 times you cannot vote to coexist, and then, just open up the fucking government, then go back to the fucking Capitol and then start doing your shit. Get fucking bills done. Get it to the House of Representatives, get it to Donald Trump's fucking desk, and he can sign it, and we don't have to worry about it. We're getting close to the holiday season, and this shit is starting? Come on now. And you call yourselves politicians? You call yourselves Democrats? I call you a bunch of dumb fucks. That 70, 80-year-old dumb fucks. Just because you can't agree on certain things. It's just mind-boggling. 38 days. It's insane. I saw I went off on a tangent talking about politics, but, I care about my country, and I care about the people in this goddamn country. Not all of them, but most of them, but you know what I mean. But in any case, I hope this thing gets done so the people can, the kids, especially the families who have kids, they need to eat too. Everybody needs to eat, and everybody, especially the families who are want to go see their loved ones for Thanksgiving. That may not happen because all the airports are shutting down. All the pilots are like, oh, I'm staying home. I haven't got paid for 2 weeks. Not 2 weeks. This is the second paycheck they haven't got paid. Same thing with the air traffic controllers. And now, flights are being canceled around the country, especially around here in the Northeast corridor. It's insane. So if you want to see your loved one for at least Thanksgiving, I don't know if you're going to see them, because you might not be able to get on a plane. And if you do go to the airport, you might be there for the whole day, because there's nobody to fly the plane. There's nobody to fly the plane. There's no stewardesses and no anybody. There's nobody at the air traffic control like, alright, you're clear for takeoff. Nobody there. So how are you going to get there? You're going to take a bus? I mean, you could, but it's going to take a long time. Depending on where you're coming from. You're coming from Florida, you're coming all the way up to New York. That's 2 days. It's crazy. This country has just gone to shit. It is. New York has just turned to shit. And I don't blame anybody who wants to leave New York right now. I'd love to leave New York right now. I would love it. But I'm stuck. So. But it is what it is. Eventually, I'm getting out of here. Eventually. I said that a long time ago, but, plans change. You know, you can't help it. But I'm hoping very soon. I'm not gonna give you a date and time, but I'm just gonna say very soon I will be out of this place and I'm going into a new place. Whether it be Florida, California, Texas, I don't care where I go. I just want to get out of New York ASAP. I hate it here. I used to love it, now I hate it. I know I have a lot of friends here that I'll leave behind, but, you know, they won't understand, like, oh, yeah, I need a change of scenery. It is what it is. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, enough spiel after almost 16 minutes. I can do this on another video if I felt like it, but I really don't want to. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, on this late Thursday night, November the 6th, 2025, or if you're on the replay crew, or my great people on the replay crew, how you going? How you doing? Happy Friday to you. It's November the 7th, 2025, if you're watching on the replay, whenever you're watching this. It is time for your late and Adam T NXT review for November the 4th, 2025, the Election Day edition of NXT. And no, we did not have to vote for people in NXT, but we got that. Alright, we're coming up on Gold Rush, which is a week from this Tuesday. So this Tuesday is the final show from the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. And then next week is the live edition of Gold Rush, and then the week after that, going into Thanksgiving week, the 25th, is a taped show. And then right after that, we got the December 2nd edition of NXT, which I think is supposed to be it's supposed to be the go home show for Deadline. Because Deadline, I believe, is the 6th of December. So I don't know how they're gonna get all this build from this coming Tuesday all the way through Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving to get to Deadline. Because we gotta get the Iron Survivor matches going. At least the participants, I don't know how they're gonna do it. Unless Deadline the date is changed. But I think it's still December the 6th, which is the day after Final Battle for Ring of Honor. So that's gonna be an interesting weekend. And then after Deadline, we're pretty much done for the year. We only got a couple shows, and then maybe I think December 23rd, 22nd or 23rd is a taped show because it's Christmas week. The following week is New Year's, so I think the final two shows of the year will be taped. So, and then after that, we got the first NXT of the year, which is New Year's Evil on January 4th. And that's a big, huge night. Actually, I gotta take that back. I think it's the 6th. I gotta look at the dates, but right after New Year's Day, what do we wait for and stay up for? New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom. And that's gonna be big. And I heard that, I believe, in the next coming days, we're gonna find out that of Tanahashi's final opponent. It better be Nakamura. I would... You know what I mean? I would burst in my pants if it's Tanahashi Nakamura for the final time. Because we already have Takeshita and Tsuji title for title. That's the IWGP Heavyweight title and the Global title being pretty much unified-ish, but we got that. Might have the women's title on the line, I don't know. But we're getting there. We've got 2 months, a little over 2 months to go, so. But I can't wait till Wrestle Kingdom to see Tanahashi's final match. I'm gonna be a sad time, you know. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry, we're gonna watch, hopefully, Tanahashi have one final epic match to end his career. And then who knows what's going to happen with him. He's going to be like, he's like near 50 now. So, probably still be maybe the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I'll probably stay in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but not as a in-ring competitor or anything like that. Sucks. I mean, lost Okada, losing Tanahashi, losing Naito, and then you lose Nakamura. There's not that many big, huge stars there besides maybe Tsuji. Still got Hiromu Takahashi. They got the Bullet Club in some areas, not the Bullet Club we all know and love. Yeah, got some good superstars coming up in the business. Like you still got Zack Sabre Jr., Goto's, still there, surprisingly. Goto, good lord. And a couple other guys, come and go, like Ishii and Shibata. So see what happens when we get to Wrestle Kingdom and all the matches. Most of the people are going to be new, so we have to get used to it. If you haven't seen New Japan this entire year, you're going to have to watch tape. I unfortunately will not have to do that because I watch New Japan religiously. Sang, but we did that. Alright, so we got all that wrestling coming up later. Alright, we move on. Alright, so let's get to NXT for this week. As always, from the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. And our commentary team, the man that gave out a lot of candy on Halloween, that creepy bastard, Vic Joseph, and the Kool-Aid Man himself. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. The two-time Hall of Famer, Booker T. Sucker. Alright, we got that. Alright, so we start off with action, because, as always, a little less talk and a lot more action right here on my show. Or on my radio show, which I used to do. I miss my radio show. I really do. If I had the technology and the motivation to do it, I would do a radio show, like a podcast, like I used to do back in the day. Just play a lot of good, great metal, some old school metal, talk, maybe have some people on, maybe some undiscovered bands. Maybe I can get in this moment. Who knows? Maybe Ash Costello will, come on and I have to be nice to her. Well, I'm always nice to her, but, She actually, I swear to God, I am not making this up. I went on her Instagram live show I think it was a few days to about a week or so ago. And she's doing some things with her store. Giving out things and stuff like that. So I'm in the chat, I go, hey, Ash. She goes, and she read it too. She goes, hey, Wash. I'm like, she remembered! Yeah, because she put up a post, I think it was like months ago, about a year ago, when she had the flu, and I left a comment on it. I said, feel better, Ash, but my stupid phone with its stupid autocorrect put Ash as Wash or Wash. And then next thing I know, I get a freaking DM from Ash Costello, an actual DM, which I don't even have it anymore, but she DM'd me out of nowhere with the picture, and he says, can you explain this? I go, oh no. I was so embarrassed to say to post that. I didn't even know it till after. I was like, oh crap. I go, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, I'll change it. She goes, no. It's like, you're gonna call me Wash from now on. I'm like, shit. It's like, does that mean at meet and greets I gotta call you Wash? Dude! But she remembers my name. She loves me. And I love her too. Anyway, love you too. Anyway, we got that. By the way, 10 Years of Malevolence, their hit album. Oh, love that album. But they got the 10-year anniversary edition. Oh, playing that religiously now. With Malevolence and, there's a couple other bangers on that album. Good shit. Anyway, alright. So we start with the action on NXT. We have 6-woman tag team match. We start with the ladies. Oh, yeah. Alright, so we got Fatal Influence, Jacy Jayne, and former woman, Fallon Don't Call Her to the Dawn, Henley, and Lainey Reed, the newcomer, taking over for my girl Jasmine Nix, who's going back to Iceland to play soccer. Okay. Anyway, so they take on Lola Vice. Oh, yes, pero, yes. Mr. Iguana is having a sip fest, if you know what I mean. Well, it's Booker T, too. But anyway, Lola Vice teams up with 2 members of the Cuckling, that's Bookie Hogan 2.0 brother, Izzy Dame, and the new NXT Women's Champion, the creepy girl herself, Tatum Paxley. And this came about from last week, where everybody got beat up, where Jacy beat up on Izzy, and she beat up on Tatum, and then Lola Vice comes in and is like, hey, I gotta get in this too. Alright, so we got that. Alright, pretty decent match, started up with Tatum and Jacy. Surprisingly, Jacy was like, oh, I don't want to fight you, I'm gonna bring somebody else in. But they fight it out. And then Lola Vice comes in for a cross arm breaker to Lainey Reed. That gets broken up easily. Tatum Paxley comes back in, gets kicked in the back of the head. Ow. And then Lola Vice comes back in, so it's like a tag team, like, tag. Alright, so Lola comes back in, kicks Fallon and Henley down for a near fall. And then all 6 women are in the ring. Tatum and Lola hit sexy running hip attacks. And then they do a little dancey. And I'm like, creepy girl Tatum Paxley doing a dance. That's like saying Rosemary, the co-founder of the Prophecy, doing a little dance. You wouldn't see Rosemary doing that shit. I mean, yeah, you did see her, like, get a little tipsy in some TNA segments with the Death Dolls, Taya and Jessica Havoc. But you never see like Rosemary doing like a sexy dancey thing, like shaking her ass or anything. Maybe her alter ego Courtney Rush might do that, but you wouldn't see Rosemary do that shit. She does a dance, she does it on my dick. But I digress. She's gonna get me for that, I know. Damn. She's gonna put up. Never mind. Anyway. Alright, so they dance a little bit. And then Izzy's not really interested in doing that. Like, we're not gonna dance. Or as CC DeVille used to say, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play? We're gonna dance, then we'll play. Or, back in the day at an indie show, there was so much talking. I'm going, hey, are we gonna talk or are we gonna fight? What's going on here? Oh, we're gonna talk. Ooh, we got owned. Shut up. People think I got owned at an indie show because I said, hey, are we gonna talk? Are we gonna wrestle? Or are we gonna talk? What's going on for like 30 minutes? What are we, Cody? Like, I want to see some wrestling. I don't want to hear 30 minutes of spiel. Like, come on now. Like, I paid my good-earned money, my hard-earned money to see people fight. I don't want to see 30 minutes of talking. Like, 6,000 people coming out. Like, what is this? The carousel of how many mics do you have? We move on. Alright, so we go to break, we come back, Fatal Influence goes after Lola Vice, Jacy's running knee gets a near fall. Lola Vice bites fights back, brings in Tatum Paxley to clean house, but she misses a 450. No water in the pool for you, Missy. And then Laney Reed gets in a cheap shot. Izzy Dame makes the save, and then all 6 women are in the ring again. Tatum is almost shoved into Izzy, but stops herself. Whoa! I didn't mean to do that. And then Izzy shoves her down, and takes the bullet for her as JC, boom, rolling elbow or rolling encore, and JC pins Izzy Dame in over 10.5 minutes. So there you go. So Fatal Influence gets the win. They go to Ava Rain's office later. It's like, hey, we want some title shots. But Ava's like, no, I'll get back to you on that. Okay. But yeah, Izzy is basically, you think she's gonna turn, and then she takes a bullet for Tatum. And Tatum's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to think here. Are you my friend, or are you gonna betray me? Your 2 little buddies, Nico and Sean Spears are gonna, they're okay with this? I still think Tatum's gonna lose more friends than she already has. You should have stuck with Rosemary. Just saying, even though Wendy Choo Choo was, she turned on Rosemary real quick, and then we just kicked her out of the province. Like, fuck you. Now where are you at now, Wendy Choo Choo? Barely on fucking Evolve. And I know Rosemary we haven't seen her much on TNA lately, but that's not my problem. That's Carlos's problem. Come on, Carlos Silva, why don't you put my girl on more? You barely have a freaking Knockouts division going after Kaylani Jordan. And then Santino Malala, you son of a gun. He makes a triple threat match at Gold Rush with Jordan Grace and Zia Lee, or Lei, whatever her name is, Lei Wing Lee, whatever it is. Basically, Zia Lee. So you take the woman that lost at Bound for Glory, and then you add Jordan Grace, who lost to Blake Monroe, who then lost to Kaylani, I think a week or so ago. So you put those 2 in, Kaylani's gonna retain. And you have freaking Rosemary sitting on her ass, her hot ass, by the way, and, doing nothing. She's just sitting back, hanging out with Andrew Everett, barely doing Twitch these days, just doing nothing these days. Maybe you'll see her on an indie show, but I'm saying, you have so many women, a lot of women in that division, like Danny Luna, almost said Danny something else, Danny Luna, Jody Dredd. You have the I was gonna say, you have the remnants of the Elegance brand. Tasha Steelz, anyone? But, I mean, you can't put Rosemary back in the Knockouts title picture? I mean, I don't understand that. It's been a long time since Rosemary was champion, and I think she needs one more run. I think a lot of TNA-ites will agree with me on that. Anyway, we moved on with that. Alright, so the match was 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then we get a video from earlier in the day where we see El Grande Americano, otherwise known as Ludwig Spears, not happy with not having his own locker room, and he picks up Josh Briggs' bag, and the big man comes in, challenges him to a regular match, not for the speed title, no speed time limit shit, just a regular one-on-one match. And then Ludwig Spears like, okay, I say pero, okay, you get the match. And then we had like Bravo and Rado, whatever the names are, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate there. I just don't understand why you put them under a mask. And then basically, if they ever fight, they're getting beat up. They feel like they're jobbers. I don't get it. Alright, so I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Speaking of Xia Li, she's ticked off that Kaylani Jordan for hitting Jordan Grace with a belt last week. So, there's where we're going to get the triple threat. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Even though I'll re-mention it, but whatever. Alright, so we got that. Alright, then we go to the Evolve Women's Champion, the beautiful Kendall Gray. He's all happy with beating Last Legend Kick Gun last week. And then Kaylani Jordan, the TNA Knockouts Champion, interrupts. And she tells Kendall and her friends, one of them being my girl Maddie Lankowski, also Danny Selesky was there. Oh, I'm sorry, Skylar Ray. That's her new name now. Not Danny Sikelski. I know they changed P. Nasty's name to PJ Vasa or PJ Vessa or something like that. Hey, but at least a Danny Sikelski sighting. Thank you. The Season 2 winner. We saw the Season 1 winner. That being Tyra May Steele, who's going to be facing Kaylani later on. Think she's going to win? Nah. I think we saw a Thekita Leon's sighting. She's not blonde anymore. She's brunette. Oh. I like her as a blonde myself, but, when girls change their hair colors, like, I don't want to be a blonde anymore. I want to be a brunette. Sometimes it works. Sometimes they still look hot. But other times, like, oh, you should have stayed with being a brunette or being a blonde. Because you don't look that great as a blonde. Rose has changed her hair color not that many times, but she doesn't change it to blonde. Most of the time she changes it to brown and, like, auburn red. Still looks good. I think she changed it to blonde once. And I was like, oh. That was way back in the day. I don't remember when, but maybe early on when we were dating. She sends me a picture. I'm like, what is this? You're blonde? Okay. As long as your ain't blonde, then we'll don't have to talk about that. But yeah, women do that. They dye their hair, then if they have a bush, they dye their bush blonde. Ugh. Leave it the way it is. And shave that fucking shit. You don't want to have a big old fucking afro. I mean, guys want to, they want to, I got all these hair coming out of my mouth. Shave that landing strip or whatever, Or just shave it, wax it, and make it look good. So when us guys, want to taste the sushi, we don't want to have hair coming out of it. Like, what is this? Gotta send it back to the chef. I digress. Anyway, I'm going way off. You're still watching. Anyway, moving on. Where was I? Yeah. Alright, so Kaylani Jordan, after that segment, Kaylani Jordan comes out with probably one of her best promos. On TNA Impact tonight, which had, a couple matches, and most of it was recap. I'm still gonna. I might do the review tomorrow, but there wasn't that many matches. So, but next week is a live edition of Impact. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be epic. We'll see what happens with that. All right, so she comes out, doesn't understand why people are booing her when they cheer Dominic Guerrero, ese. Well, it's Dom. You're Mrs. Him. There's a little bit of a difference. Anyway, she's like, yeah, I took... And she's like, yeah, I took my chance to win the Knockouts title and got booed. Well, Lola Vice ese goes to Triple A every week and gets cheered. Well, yeah, she's Mexican. Well, she's Puerto Rican, so she can go to Mexico and get cheered there, too. Anyway. Then she says the women who are jealous of her are the women who can't keep up with her in the ring, like Jordynne Grace. I like the line where she says, you people aren't fans, you're followers. I can say, you're jealous. Then she says the same people who booed Jordynne Grace are now up in arms about me cheating so much. And then she says, I'm sitting out Gold Rush because no one, including Xia Li, is worthy of her time. And she's like, call me disloyal all you want, but you're still gonna call me the champ, bitch. Shit. Mello taught you well. I like that. I like it. Give me that little Star Wars thing. So, Skywalker, Obi-Wan has taught you well, but he has not taught you everything. Sister. So you have a twin sister. Maybe she will turn to the dark side. Most impressive, Skywalker. Scrape me down, Skywalker, and make your ascent to the dark side complete. No! No, it's not like Spaceballs. They don't say that in Spaceballs. Actually, John Calman says, so, Lone Star, Yogurt has taught you well. So let bygones be bygones. Let's put her there. Oh, you fell for the oldest trick in a book! I can't believe you did that! What's with you, man? Oh, you fell for that too! And I forget the rest of it, but... I see your Schwartz is as big as mine! Let's see how well you use it. Yeah, he did it. What? He really... Spaceballs is just a timeless classic. And if you hate Spaceballs, fuck you. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so the last couple segments I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go to OTM. I think they were with Sarah Schreiber, Bunko Nima, and what's the other guy's name? Lucius Price. They're in the back. They're back. They're in the back, but they're back now. They chase everything, but then Chase You comes out, and that's Araya Connors and Kale Dixon. They want to have a fight, but then Mr. Chase comes in and says, hey, tranquilo, why are you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy. Then says, going after OTM is not a teachable moment. It's not a good idea. But watch, we get a fucking match next week. Great booking! That's that. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get to Josh Briggs and and Ludwig Spears, otherwise known as El Grande Americano, non-title match, Rayo and Bravo. No, Johnny Bravo? No, not Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo! Rayo. It was Rayo. Rayovac? No. That's some... What is Rayovac is that, that vacuum company, right? Great, name him after a fucking vacuum. Rayo. Could have named him Mayo. Rayo Mayo or something like that. Rainbow Bright? No. Shut up, Lurky. Alright, this match was it was alright. Nothing great about it. Josh Briggs ties Ludwig Spears in a tree of woo! But he tried to take off the mask to unmask him, and then Rayo and Bravo stopped that. And then El Grande Americano comes back with some chops, and a blockbuster, kind of a little sloppy, sends Briggs to the outside. And then he hits a flippy dippity-doo. The fans like, yay! He's great! So the fans like, yeah, this guy's great! Go, Ludwig Spears! But Briggs' form cuts that off. And then Tavion Heights comes out, causes a distraction which allows Bravo and Rayo to hit Briggs with a double backstabber. Ow. And then El Grande Americano cranks on Briggs' back. Like, I thought he was gonna lock in the accolade, but he I was like, shit! Like a rocking chair type submission. Or almost like a reverse surfboard or whatever. Bow and arrow type submission. And Briggs just tapped out immediately. Alright, so we get that. So Briggs and Tavion, I guess, are gonna feud now. Why? Alright, so we get that. And also, the Pasta! Jasper Troy in the audience, and he was pissed. He's like, oh, I gotta fight this guy next week. Well, that's the Speed Finals next week. So, Ludwig Spears defends the Speed title against Jasper Troy from LFG Season 1 winner. So, we'll see what happens with that. I think Ludwig will retain. But it would be so nice if Jasper won the men's speed title, and then next week Danny Sikelski faces Fallon Henley in the women's speed tournament semifinals, and the winner of that faces Delta, or who's Delta face? Maddie Rankowski. So we'll see what happens with that. And the winner of that becomes the new Women's Speed Champion, which I think is at Gold Rush, will happen at Gold Rush. So, lots of things at stake at Gold Rush for 2 weeks. Basically, NXT's Clash of Champions. If you want to be technical about that, but we got that. Alright, so 3 out of 5 stars for the match with Josh Briggs and Ludwig Spears. And that's that. Alright, then we go to back. Ava Raine tells Kaylani that you're going to defend that title at Gold Rush. And Kayla's like, hey, you don't have authority to do that. Well, yeah, that might be true, but Santino made the match. Alright, then Tyra May Steele comes in, kind of takes issue with Kaylani, then we get the match later on. And that's it. Alright, so 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we go further in the back. We have Miles, don't call him Ozzy Osbourne. Hi, Dad. Eat your carrot cake. Just watch out for those bats up there. Bat? What bat? Shannon! Anyway. And yes, I still have the 24-hour Osbourne's channel. I know I haven't been watching it lately, but it's just on repeat. All 3 seasons, the Christmas episode. You barely see me in that, by the way. I was there for that. So they had the first 3 seasons, the Christmas episode, catching up with the Osbournes, and then they have some other, I think maybe a couple other things. But it's on loop. Which is great. I didn't even know it existed, but thank you. Thank you to Dish. Love you. Now, if you could lower my package a little bit more, it'd be great. I'm paying basically the same as I paid the last 2 years, even though it went up like 2 cents. 2 cents it went up. I'm not bad about it, but, I had a fear it was going to go up $12, but thankfully, price locks guaranteed. You gotta love it. I've had a price lock guarantee for, on the package. This is going into my 5th year, I should say. But then I have one on the receiver that ends next year, and then I got Netflix for 2 years for free because that was actually offered in the upgraded package I got. So I'm gonna take it. Why not? So I upgraded my channels, which was supposed to go up $20, but that came off. And they gave me Netflix for 2 years, so my contract with that ends in 2027. So we'll see what happens between pretty much now and 2027. I don't think my bill is going to go up anytime soon, but I have to check it. Sometimes, they'll say, oh, it's going to be the same price, and then next thing you know, $10 extra next month. Like, for what? And that's what happens with communications. Every year it goes up $5. Or sometimes $10. Like, my internet went up $10. I'm like, It went up 10, but I'm gonna, it went up 10, but I'm taking the 10 back in January, so, because, they gave me a promotion that I have to sign up for, so even if my internet went up $10, now I take that back for about, a few months, and then, I'm paying basically the same price I've been paying this whole year. Well, with internet. With cable, been paying that for like 5 years. So gotta love price lock guarantees. You stay at the same price, and then it carries over. But sometimes you have to negotiate a little bit. But I have no problem. I have no problem with Dish, and I don't have no problem with my internet company either. So I've been a long time loyal customer, and they love it. You guys are not used to that, but your kids are gonna love it. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so Miles, don't call him Ozzy Osbourne, he wants the NXT World Heavyweight Champion, Absolute Ricky Starks, to save him a piece of Trick Willie. I don't know what Miles Bourne's got a problem with Trick Willie all of a sudden. Alright, so that works for Ricky. So we'll see what happens after next week's Last Man Standing match for the NXT World title, which is going to be brutal. We get that. Alright, then we get to Chelsea Green and the Canadian National Champion Ethan Page. We see them winning the Triple A Mixed Tag Team titles in Mexico from Mr. Iguana and La Hydra, who then pretty much smacked the living shit out of Mr. Iguana, and then Lola Vice is coming to console him, rubbing his bald head, and Mr. Iguana's like, yes, see, oh no, and poor Jessica's just like standing there like, I mean, wouldn't you like to have Lola Vice rubbing your head? Never mind. She can rub my head all day. She gives great helmets. Anyway, that's that. Alright, so after that, we get a split screen with Trick Willie and Ricky Starks. Trick Willie says Ricky can't handle the pressure at being champion, but Ricky brings up beating Trick at Halloween Havoc a couple weeks ago, and so that messed with Trick Willie's mind, and he can't handle being in second place. And Ricky says, Trick, you had 1 foot in and 1 foot out of NXT since I got here, because you view NXT as your security blanket. But on the other hand, Ricky winning the belt is the culmination of him working hard while Trick takes everything for granted. Trick then says, Ricky, you think like a fan and a title belongs to a real star. So they're ready to fight. It's like, you want to fight right now? I know where you are. Let's go fight. So they find each other in the back, and Trick almost takes him out with a pipe shot. And then the freaking security guards come, and they break it up momentarily. Trick finds another pipe in a garbage can, and he's ready for Ricky to turn around. Boom! He hit one further than Pete Alonso hits one for the Mets. By the way, and speaking of Pete Alonso, congrats on winning the Silver Slugger Award. Same thing with Juan Soto. So, some good news for the Mets. They got a couple of guys. They got some Japanese guy from the Pirates. Like that matters. Then they brought back Brooks Raley's coming back. They got Jose Castillo, who pitched for a cup of coffee. They bring him back. They made an offer to Edwin Diaz, a $24 million contract offer. Because free agency has started now. So, Uncle Stevie, trying to get the shit done. I hope Edwin takes the deal so he can come back, so we don't lose him. And then who's our closer gonna be? Unless they put Clay Holmes as a closer now, get him out of the rotation, even though he had a pretty decent year as a starter. Wasn't great, but still. It's a better closer than a starter in my eyes, but... Unless Luke from the Yankees might be... I think he's a free agent, or maybe they trade for him. But I'd like to have Luke Weaver in the bullpen as the closer or the setup guy, that Diaz. Or Clay Holmes. That'd be nice. But then again, who knows what's going to happen between now and March. And the spring training schedule came out. I haven't looked at it yet. But they do have the World Baseball Classic as somewhere, I think, in the middle, near the end. Or I think it's in the middle of spring training. I think it's about a week or so. But, so I think, Soto might be playing in the Soto and Lindor are going to play in there. So we're not going to see him on the Mets spring training, roster much, but they'll get their licks and everything, and then they'll probably come back after whenever the finals of the World Baseball Classic stop, and then they'll probably get a few at bats near the end of spring training, and then when the season starts at the end of March, hopefully they'll start the season on fire, but. We'll see what happens with Los Mets de Nueva York in the redemption year for, because this past season ran out of gas. It felt like a reverse of 2024 when they stunk in the first half and then went on that big, huge run to the NLCS. But this year, they were red hot. Then right after June, and they had so many chances to get a wild card spot and choked on the last fucking day. Remember that whole weekend? They lost to the fucking Marlins, who always give them fits. Marlins knocked them out. They got swept by the Reds, who then got beat by the Brew Crew. Thank the Lord for that. So now next year is pretty much revenge of the redemption, or redemption of the revenge, whatever you want to call it. Revenge of the revenge, like the Niners seasons since they went to the Super Bowl last. They got robbed 2 times, 2020 and 2022, 23. Robbed by the fucking refs. Yeah, Kansas City ain't great this year, huh? I heard Kelsey got injured. Good. But now he has to stay home with his fiancée. That whore. Taylor Swift. Anyway. We have that. What's hot on the charts? Oh, that's right, metal. Just saying. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so they fight, and Trick Willie swings for the fences, connects with Ricky Stark's ribcage, so that might come into play next week in their last man standing match, which I think Ricky's still going to retain. And then that might be Trick Willie's final shot at the title, unless he somehow gets into the Iron Survivor match. Wins that, then we get a third match with Ricky and Trick, and that'll probably be Trick's final match in NXT before he goes to the main roster. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. I think Trick Willie will be a part of the Royal Rumble. He's going to be either a surprise, maybe a surprise entrant. One of the surprise entrants. I could probably see Lash Legend in the Women's Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant. So I think she'll come up. I don't know who. Maybe Lola Vice would be in the Royal Rumble as well, because I think she's going to come up. Maybe be with her so-called boyfriend, Bobby Priest. So we'll see what happens with that. Because I still think that whole thing with Aleister Black and Bobby Priest and Zelina, well, I can't go say Vega anymore. They changed her name back just to Zelina. What? Are we getting a Cesaro here? Remember when Cesaro used to be, Claudio... What was his name before they changed it? It was Claudio... no, it wasn't Claudio. It was, God, I forget. Because it was Cesaro something, and then they shortened it to Cesaro. There was Claudio Cesaro or something like that. And then they changed it to Cesaro. They changed Alexander Rusev to Rusev, obviously. And now they're changing Zelina Vega to Zelina. That's some Vince McMahon bullshit there. Everybody's taking their first names, or they're changing their names from Pete Dunne to Butch. They don't call him Butch no more. He's either Rayo or Bravo. I think it's Bravo. Because why would you name Pete Dunne Rayo? Rayo! Rayo! Where I come and me want to go home. Wait, he said it. Okay. Ray? No. Anyway. So we'll see what happens with all that. But Trick Willie will be in the Royal Rumble. I think Lash and Lola Vice will be in the Royal Rumble. Maybe Oba. Femi will be in the Royal Rumble. I think we'll see Oba. Definitely. And I know the rumors of Edge and Jericho possibly being in the Royal Rumble. Possibly they're teasing Jericho and Edge in the John Cena thing. It's not going to happen. I'll be shocked if it's one of them, but it's not. It's not. It's going to be Walter facing Cena December the 13th. Unless otherwise told. But we don't know when Walter's gonna fight to get to that shot. But I don't even know what we got tomorrow. For next week, I should say. In the men's bracket. Well, we'll find out tomorrow, because Monday we got Poppy Priest and Rusev. That's going to be a banger. And speaking of banger, Sheamus Fella takes on Shinsuke Nakamura in the first round. That's going to be, the quarterfinals. Because every time they do a tournament, they just like, first round, semis, final. Not like back in the day when you had, so many rounds. I'm like, when is this thing going to end? Yeah, kind of like the G1, right? That thing is endless. One of the greatest tournaments in the history of wrestling, the G1. 2 months. From July to I think mid-July to mid-August. Not it's like 2 months, but I think it's 10 weeks, something like that. Most grueling tournament in fucking wrestling history. You get hurt. Either you fight through it, or you're out. But Gabe Kidd got hurt, and he was out like the first week of the fucking tournament. Which Takeshita won. And then Takeshita became the IWGP champion like about a month or two later. And now he's the champ. Going after, going into Wrestle Kingdom, gonna take on Tsuji for the global title. And his title's on the line too, so. That's Wrestle Kingdom number 20. I think we just had the G1 Climax, I think it was number 34. So next year will be 34, 35, I believe. But, yeah, Wrestle Kingdom's coming up, guys. Can't wait. And I will be here for it. I'll be here pretty much for the next 6 months at least. Hoping for more, but we'll see. Work, by the time we hit February, my work schedule gets crazy again. So, right now it's, getting towards the holiday season, so it doesn't get that hectic, but we move on. Alright, then we get to the women's speed title tournament. First round match, Delta takes on my girl, Maddie Vinkowski. We have the resident surfer girl, Sol Ruka, and the Evolve champion, Kendall Gray, in the corners. It was a pretty decent match. But we get near the end, and Delta gets the win. Pretty close match, because it was a 3-minute time limit, obviously. So, Delta wins with the F5 in 2.5 minutes. And she goes on to the finals, where she will face either Fallon Henley or Danny Sikelski, now known as Skylar Ray. That match is this Tuesday on the program. So, we'll see. Alright, so we got that. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get to Kaylani Jordan and Tyra May Steele, the LFG Season 1 winner, non-title match. This match didn't last that long. Under 5 minutes. Tyra May Steele did, some things. But Kaylani sends her into the ring post. Ow! And on the bad arm. And then that bad arm is cranked over the rope. And the armbar goes on back inside the ring. They get back up. Tyra May Steele hits something like a reverse angle slam. Which is rare. For a near fall. But Kaylani comes back, slams her down. Right near the corner. Then she goes up top, hits One of a Kind! By Rob Van Dam. You suck. And, Katie Forbes is about to pop. Gonna pop those twins out pretty soon. Probably by next year, I think. I think she's due in February. I think. It's January or February, so. We're gonna get not one, but 2 little Van Dams. Or Forbes, or whatever his real name is, but. So that's very nice for RVD, and Katie Forbes. Gonna have twins. Twins. That's a great movie too, with Arnold and Danny DeVito. Don't all the scripted bloody floor. Yuckity yuck, don't talk back. Vincent, come on, car. Let me see what I did. Hey, you want to be a schmuck and roll the freaking car around. Tonight is your night, bro. It's your night, bro. That's a funny movie. They were supposed to make a sequel to it. It never happened. Twins 2. Electric Boogaloo. Anyway. Alright, so... Where was I? Alright, so Kaylani gets the win over Tyra May Steele. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that match. Then, after the match, Santino Morella, you son of a gun! He pops up on the Titantron to announce that Kaylani is defending the belt at Gold Rush against Jordynne Grace and Xia Li, and Kaylani is pissed. I beat them! When are we gonna do this again? That's the price you pay for being the champ. You're gonna face the same fucking people on house shows, on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, Collision, Ring of Honor, whatever. I'm like, God, I'm fighting the same bitch for 3 months, 6 months, a year. Make it stop. I would do that. I would say it in a promo. I was like, Jesus Christ, can I just fight somebody else? It's like, we've been going up and down the road for a fucking year. And I've beaten you from pillar to post, from New York to Los Angeles and back. And anywhere in between. It's like, this needs to stop. I was like, we're going to do this one more time. If we do this again, it's like, Hickenbottom, Hunter, I'm done. It's like, I don't even want to fight for this belt anymore. Like, here, take the belt. I don't want it no more. Same fucking thing every fucking month. Give me something better. Let me get that. Alright, moving on. Alright, we go to the back. So Ruka is almost cleared to get back in the ring to get her speed and women's North American titles back. So she wants to have her rematch at Gold Rush. But unfortunately, the doctors say, no, can't rush it. Can't rush it and get hurt again. So Ava tells her that, says, just listen to the doctors, and just wait for you to get cleared. But anyway, after that, Fatal Influence come in to interrupt. JC wants her rematch for the NXT Women's title at Gold Rush as well. And then all five ladies are arguing. Ava's like, I don't need to take this. I got other things to worry about. I gotta call Nick Aldis to see what NXT people will be in the John Cena tournament. Oh, it better be Oba. Oh, I want Oba in that tournament. That would be great. He's not gonna win, obviously, but... Imagine it's Oba and Trick. At least get those two guys in there, or maybe you bring in, Bouncy Javon Evans. And... we could put Oba, Trick, Javon... I would say Ricky, but I think those three guys, I would love to have in that tournament. Imagine Cena versus Oba in his final match. Oba would destroy him, and I would love it. You were the ruler 10 years ago. I am the future. Because I come from Wakanda. Name Oba! Who? Femi. Ha. Bow down. That would be an epic promos. Epic promos with him and Cena. Trick and Cena would be great too. Trick would do a bit. Imagine this. Trick and Cena at Saturday's main event. The promos leading up to that and maybe diss tracks. Sign me up. But we're not gonna get it. It would be nice though. But we're most likely getting Walter versus Cena, possibly for the Intercontinental title, depending on what they do with Dom at Survivor Series. And what happened with, with Dom and his fake as fuck dad, Rey Mysterio. That might be leading to something maybe at Survivor Series. I really don't want it there, but... So if it does happen, then you know Cena's not going to ever face Dom Dom and never get the Intercontinental title. So we're thinking of having Dom Dom and Cena at the Survivor Series. Cena wins the Intercontinental title, become a Grand Slam champion, finally win the Intercontinental title, which he never won. Then, 2 weeks later, he loses it to Walter in his final match, and Walter becomes the Intercontinental champion for the second time. Well, that's probably Mania. But now it looks like we're getting Rey versus Dom, which could be a mask versus hair match. I don't think we want to see Dom bald, but... And we already saw Rey Mysterio without the mask back in WCW, which was hideous. Put it back on, put it back on. Kevin Nash, put it back on, put it back on. But he wrestled with it, and, when it was with, what was it called? The No Limit Soldiers group. With Juventud Guerrera, Conan, not the LWO per se, but I think they're called the No Limit Soldiers, or I can't think of the name, but No Limit Gangsters, whatever the name was. Woo! That stupid shit. They actually showed on Twitter when Rey, Dom, when he was a little bitty bambino, it was in WCW 99, 2000. That'd be around between 98 and 2000, where it was Juventud Guerrera, Rey without the mask, and Conan taking on, I think, 3 Count. Remember them back in the day? Share. But, yeah. Young Dominic Guerrero. Not Mysterio, Guerrero. But we get that. Alright, so we'll see what happens with the ladies as we go into next week. That's that. Alright, there we go. It's your boy, is Bancy! Javon Evans taking on Saquon Sugars. I believe this is his first singles match in NXT. I could be wrong on that, but part of Dark State, as we know, the NXT Tag Team Champions. We have Cutler James, we had and the other 2 guys. Yeah, it was Cutler James. I'm drawing. Why am I drawing a blank? So I know it's Saquon Sugars, Cutler James, Dion Lennox, and Osiris Griffin. They're at ringside. Well, those 3 are at ringside. Pretty decent match, nothing great. 13:33. It ends with Javon dealing with all of Dark State at ringside who are going after him, and Javon just evades them all. I don't know how he did it. Then he gets back in the ring, hits a spinning Cyclone Splash. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win. He got out of there really quick. So he gets the win. So that might set up him and his good buddy Leon Slater, the X Division champion, possibly going after the tag team champions, maybe at Gold Rush, maybe at Deadline, I don't know. And we get that. Match was actually pretty good, 3 out of 5 stars. And that's that. Alright, then we hear from the lovely new, the new Women's North American champion, that's Blake Monroe. Oh my. She wants her first title defense to be in New York City. But Ava says, well, if Sol Ruka is available, she gets that title shot. To technically get her rematch, even though Delta took it, said, I'll fight, and then she lost it. So anyway, Blake says, I'm off for an interview with my better half next week. Better half? What does that mean? Is there somebody new coming in? I don't know. So we got that. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, we're in the back. Tatum apologizes to Izzy Dane for the loss, but Izzy tells her to slow your roll, basically, and shut your mouth. Tells her to slow down and avoid the mistakes because they want the title around for a long time. Tatum understands, but has one more thing to do next week first. What's that? I don't know. Well, we'll find out next week, I guess. We got that. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we go to the final segment of NXT. Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, big celebration for winning the Triple A Mixed Tag Team titles. So we have a cake in the middle of the ring. We have some piñatas, on the turnbuckles and stuff. We don't have any mariachi bands. Dude. I'm like, who's in the cake? I wonder who. So they promised to win the titles. They did it. As they knew they would. Chelsea, and she had Kaylee Ray or Alba Fire at ringside. The Sergeant at Arms. So Chelsea brags about their success. And Ethan's ready to defend the belts against, well, they're going to celebrate, including with the cake. And then Chelsea's like, I wish Joe Hendry would appear so that we can get ready to jump him as he comes out of the cake. So Chelsea's about to say his name again, and then Edith's like, no, don't say it. And then Chelsea's like, you say it. No, you say it. You say it. No. You say it. Alba Fire. So I was like, Joe Hendry. So his music hits. And they're ready to beat up Joe Hendry, who's gonna pop out of the cake, but Joe Hendry comes out from the aisleway, the entranceway. So he comes out the direct approach, I guess. So he's like, I'm not out here, to get the Canadian national title or anything. I want the Triple A Mixed Tag Team titles. So then Chelsea and Ethan like, well, who's your partner gonna be? And out of the cake comes, well, actually, Joe Hendry says, say her name, and she appears. It's Thea Hale, who pops out of the cake with her own blue shirt and pants. So Thea's going to be Ethan's, So Thea's going to be Joe Hendry's partner. And that match is next week, I believe. And then Chelsea and Ethan get caked to death. It was a fake cake with fake cake. And that was that. And then, in an exclusive, we see Ethan and Alba Fire and Chelsea Green all in the back. They all got cake over each other. Like pie and cream and disgusting shit. Chelsea Green! I don't know what you were thinking, but she says, I've never been creamed like this in my life! And then he's like, excuse me? And then Matt Cardona I'm always ready. Chelsea knew she fucked up. And it's not the first time that Chelsea's gotten creamed, if you will. Charlotte got her. Thea Hale got her. She got caked in by Nick fucking Gage in GCW during their Matt and Chelsea's wedding thing in GCW when Matt had the GCW World Title, and then Nick Gage came back and fucked both of them up. It was like a bloody wedding, and then he got the belt back. Anyway, and then it happened in TNA when she was Laurel Van Ness during the wedding of who was it? I forget who was getting married, but I think it was Allie, the bunny. Well, before she was Allie, she was just Allie, Maria Kanell's assistant. She was at the wedding of her actual husband, and that's Pepper Parks, or we know him as the Butcher, not the Blade, not Butcher. Sorry, the Blade. We haven't seen him God knows how long. Butcher, same thing. I mean, Butcher had like a couple of matches he just lost, and then he's gone again. Blade, I think he had very bad shoulder surgery, and then Allie had an injury, and she's been doing some indie shows, I think. So don't know when Allie the Bunny's coming back, or Pepper Parks, but they're actually married, so. But during TNA, Allie was was Maria Kanell's assistant, and Laura Van Ness was gonna marry Pepper Parks, or I forgot his name in TNA, but basically we say Pepper Parks, and Laura Van Ness is Chelsea Green is drinking all the champagne. She's getting drunk at the right before they're about to say "I do," and then freaking Pepper Parks like, "I don't love you, I love Allie," and I was like, "What?" And then the whole thing fell apart like all weddings do, and Pepper Parks and Allie are making out in the fucking ring, while Chelsea Green's drinking up champagne, then she goes through the freaking wedding cake. So, like I said, Chelsea Green knows a thing or two about getting creamed more than once. I think that was like, TNA. She got one in by Charlotte Flair and really if you want to be technical, Lexi, but so that's 2. Nick Gage, and now Thea Hale and Joe Hendry. So 4 times she's got creamed in the face. But, with Matt Cardona, it's way more than that. So. But she has great skin! When you get creamed. Never mind. Anyway, so that basically ends NXT. On a not so great note for Chelsea and Ethan, and they're going to defend the belts next week, which they're going to retain. Who wants to see Joe Hendry and Thea Hale as mixed tag team champions? Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. So we'll get that. Alright, so that's NXT, ladies and gentlemen, and NXT was, I think it was pretty mid. So I'm going to give it a mid 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, I am out of here. I have to get out of here. I have to gotta go to bed. I gotta get up early because I have to go to the doctor early in the morning. And then pretty much got the weekend off. So that's that. So tomorrow we'll talk about Dynamite early, and then we'll talk about TNA and Ring of Honor. We'll bring the TNA review back. Even though the TNA wasn't it was kind of like a recap show. There was a great segment with Kaylani, another great promo from her. Santana versus Cedric Alexander was one of the matches. They had a fatal 4-way with, I think, the System, Order 4, the Sinner and the Saint, and I think the Rascals in a 4-way tag team match. I think they had 3 or 4 matches, and then some recap shit and then Kaylani's promo in there. But like I said, next Thursday's program is live at 8 p.m. on Impact Plus, or whatever you're going to watch it from. That should be interesting. We don't know the next actual event for TNA. I don't know if there's one this month. or I know next month there has to be one. I think next month is something. They might do an event next month. I don't know, but January. No, I think they're coming back to pay per view in January for Genesis. So I think that's going to be the week before the Royal Rumble. I think. Let me actually, well, we got some time. I don't have much time, but let me go to that. What is the next TNA event? Okay, Turning Point is next Friday from Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. Interesting. Okay. That's going head-to-head with SmackDown. And then TNA Wrestling Fan Appreciation Weekend in El Paso, Texas, December 5th to the 7th. That's going to be with more tapings, obviously. Probably go up to the end of the year. Let's see here. I don't think there's anything in December. Is there a TNA event in December? Okay, they have Family Fun Day. Okay, so TNA event in December 5th, which is the night of Final Battle. They got the a live event in El Paso. Then they got the TV taping on the 6th. That's a Saturday from El Paso. December 7th, that's Sunday's Family Fun Day and another live event. But I don't think they have anything else in December. What is the next TNA pay-per-view? I think it's Genesis. Okay, here we go. Oh, damn, that's gonna be... Okay, alright, so for TNA, we got final Turning Point, November the 14th at Full Sail University in Orlando. Final Resolution, the same night as SmackDown and Final Battle. Damn. I might have to watch Final Resolution on the 6th. Like, the morning or the afternoon of the 6th to just to catch up to all the stuff at TNA. I think TNA Genesis is in next year. When is TNA Genesis 2026? Okay, no specific date. But it is January 26th. It's been announced with no exact date and where it's going to be. So we'll find out probably before the end of the year where TNA Genesis will emanate from. That's the first pay-per-view of the year for TNA. And we know the first pay-per-view for WWE will be Royal Rumble, and we got Wrestle Kingdom. But Ring of Honor won't be coming back to pay-per-view, probably Supercard, probably by March or April, who knows what that. And then AEW coming back, I think February or March with Revolution. So it's going to be a while for a Ring of Honor pay-per-view after Final Battle, probably like 2, 3, 4 months, who knows. Then I say after World's End, December the 27th, I think Revolution will be February or beginning of March. And that'll lead into, Double or Nothing, which is probably going to be in, before Double or Nothing, we got, Dynasty, or Dynasty for you people in Australia. So we got Revolution, Dynasty, and then I think April, I think we'll have All In, and Double or Nothing will be around between April and June, so. But when we get there, we'll get there. So alright, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, 6.5 out of 10 stars for NXT. And that's pretty much it. Alright, I gotta go to bed, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time. If you're not down with that, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man. And that's it. But until next time, peace.